Hello, welcome to the Wholesaling and Flipping Houses in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter, and this is where I teach you how to start wholesaling or flipping houses in New York, and if you're doing it already, how to grow your business. Topic today by request is flipping or wholesaling houses in New York with HOAs, which means homeowners associations. Typically, that usually means a condominium, or it can mean a PUD, a planned unit development. So a condominium, we all know, built very often a big building with lots of units in it. Everybody buys their own unit. But there is some homeowners association that sort of governs the common areas and some kind of rules. Don't confuse this with a co-op. Co-ops are very different, much more complicated. I don't want to get into that. And then there's a planned unit development, which is like a gated community where there's some common areas. You pay a fee every month for gardening, or maybe there's a pool, that kind of thing. But let's focus more on condos. So there are pros and cons to buying a property that's got a HOA, like in a condo building, something like, for example. So the advantage is that it's very easy to comp out, right? Because very often, if you have a G line in that building, you can see other units that sold, which have exactly the same layout, and you can get comps easily. That's the advantage. A disadvantage is you got to deal with the HOA, and they may have restrictions. So the reason why I don't buy co-ops is because very often they won't. First of all, you have to get approved to buy a co-op. For a condo, you don't. But some HOAs are more restrictive. So it's something you got to look into. You want to see if there's any kind of situation where the HOA, the homeowner association, will restrict you from selling certain people, certain types. I mean, they're not allowed to discriminate like a co-op does. But you want to know, can I flip the property quickly? Are they going to give you issues doing work in the property? Are there only certain hours, only certain approved contractors? That's the kind of rules you have to learn about, and you can ask about before you buy a property with it. But the huge advantage to me on buying a condo is that usually you can comp them out, unless it's a 3-unit or 4-unit building. If it's any kind of decent size, you can usually get comps easily. You could see what things sell for in the building, that kind of thing. So that's the advantage. I went for 4 years every Tuesday to the Nassau County auction. That's where I bought most of my properties about 5 years ago, and the 4 years before that. And there are a lot of HOA liens that get sold at auction. What that means very often is that the guy's not paying his maintenance, and the HOA will sell the lien. But it's always subject to the first mortgage. So you got to find out if there's a first lien on the property or not. Sometimes there's a first mortgage and a second mortgage. So very often there are people who would buy these liens at very, very small amounts. They buy them for $3,000, $5,000. Liens that maybe were $50,000. They buy them at auction for really whatever the HOA would put up as their upset price, their minimum. And then they would try to maybe negotiate it. I saw a lot of guys do that. Guys who were smart, who knew what they were doing, and they knew that it was a gamble. That very often they were going to lose that money, $3,000, $5,000. But sometimes they'd hit a home run, get the first mortgage lender to negotiate down, that kind of thing. So it's something that happens, but I don't think it should change how you're doing it. I know some people who are actually looking at condos now in certain parts of the country and really focusing on them. I think it's probably a good deal because you can. Again, to get the value and know right away, I know that building, those properties are $400,000. That's a huge advantage. You don't have to really get into it. And I think it's a good deal, a good idea. But in general, I don't really buy a lot or any with HOAs, but it is not something that should dissuade you. If you have something where there is an HOA because it's a PUD, like it's in a gated community, I would just call them up and say, I'm looking to buy this property, fix it up and sell it. Are there any restrictions on who I can use or how I can use it or what I should do? What time can I do it? That kind of thing. That's what I'd ask. Brad says buying a condo 10 hours prior to flip. Brad, I think you're in Atlanta, right? In that area, there's a lot of those. It's just not that many here. There are some. Most of them here in our area are age restricted, 55 and over. But I wouldn't let an HOA dissuade you in any way from doing a deal. I would just call the HOA and find out what kind of restrictions they're going to have. So if you're interested in finding out more of how I can help you do this business in New York, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. Like these videos if you like them. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. And these are by request. If you have any requests for any topics, no topics are too simple. No topics are, it's not a problem if I just did the topic. So if you have any kind of requests, I'd be happy to help you in any way that I can. My phone number is below or above, depending on if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. And I'm here to help, and thank you for watching.